Hey, everybody. This is Sherry with Butternut Hollow Crafts, hashtag Old Lady with Tools, and happy Monday night. I thank you for joining me either live or on replay. Feel free to comment where you're from and how you're liking my project. Again, I am Sherry with Butternut Hollow. You can find me on Facebook, Pinterest, and I've started a YouTube channel and TikTok. So keeping up with all of it is something else. But let's get started on our project. I will get you turned down so you can see what we are going to be working on. Okay, so what I did is, let's move this. We're going to be doing a fall project again. This is a pumpkin, and it's a stacking pumpkin, as you can see. And we're going to decoupage each section with different paper scraps, and then I cut this out with my bandsaw after I drew it out, and then I made little fronts for the pumpkins to set them apart, and I did them on my laser. Hey Barbara, how you doing from Colorado? And so I went ahead and painted this white so you guys didn't have to watch me paint it white. But so let's start the decoupage, so then we can add all the fun stuff. And I am going to start with this bottom pumpkin. Hey Royce, how you doing, dear? And so I got to get my paper here. This paper here is from the industrial exhibition. For some reason, I have a hard time saying that word. But the only thing I've got to make sure of is this inset here. Hey, Lauren, is going to lay over this, and we'll be painting this too. So I just got to make sure that when I lay this inset on top here, that we're going to catch this paper, if you follow me, and see how these fit together just like a little old jigsaw. And so yeah, that looks pretty good. I think we can actually come down just a little bit. So let me move this paper down. I just want to catch where they meet. So right about there. So that's where we're going to decoupage that paper. I'm going to get my decoupage medium. It's just a water-based medium. So whatever you use is your go-to. Feel free to use it. Oh, let me see. We're going to start at the bottom down here. So let me get my anchor row laid down here first. And I just want to make sure I lay enough down where I'm going to get some good contact. Get my brush out of the way and get this smoothed out like this. Let me grab some saran wrap. I always forget something. It doesn't matter what I'm working on. And we're going to smooth this out, and then I'm going to wet this paper. I should have wet it before I laid it down, but I was afraid I was going to have to move it too many times to make sure I had it in the right spot. So now I'm going to mist this paper. This trick that Royce has taught us is just a lifesaver as far as making your paper not wrinkle hardly at all. In fact, it's just about zero. So now I'm going to pull this back to where I stopped, and we will get some more medium laid down here. And we'll lay this down. And I like to go in the middle and work my way out to the sides. I just feel like I get less chance of bubbles. Okay, so that pumpkin is done. And now we're going to move up to the next pumpkin. But to make sure I get these papers laid in the right area, I'm going to use my decorative inserts also. Because this next pumpkin is going to be right about there. And we're doing them in different colors, and they're not going to be traditional pumpkins because there is nothing traditional about me. And make sure this inset is about where I want it. It fits like a puzzle. Okay, that looks pretty good. Let's mist this first. And then I'm going to lift you up a little bit, if my paper will cooperate. And we'll get this decoupage down. And I can move this out of the way now. There's that. Set my brush out of the way here. Lay this paper down and just kind of smooth it out a little bit. Get any wrinkles, although the top of those decorative fronts that we're going to put on here is going to hide a lot if I have any imperfections. But again, I've said it before, those little imperfection wrinkles does not bother me at all. Okay, so now we'll finish doing this one. You guys, have you ever had a vision in your head and you pray when it comes together, it works? This is one of those visions. I literally had to draw out this stacking pumpkin, which I'm taking Royce's paper mache class, and she's, gives you tips and techniques, I guess. And we were talking last Thursday about making these paper mache forms and how to get the basic form, just look at the shape that you want. You don't have to, basically build the whole thing at once because you're going to add to it. And that is literally how I was able to draw out these stacked pumpkins. Because once you get this vision out of your head and you look at just the shape you're wanting, it makes a big difference. And that really did help me. That technique really did help me draw these stacked pumpkins out, because I am not an artist by any stretch of the imagination. And so I was really pleased that I was able to draw a template that I could then transfer to my wood and draw it out. So are you following how this is going to go with these stacked pumpkins? Now this one here, I kind of cut these down a little bit ahead of time, but see this hummingbird? I love hummingbirds. Hey, Trinity. The non-traditional colors are super. I do a lot of yes, Barbara, that's what's fun. Thanks, Trin. Trin, what am I lying about? Did I lie, Trin? I'm sorry. But see how my hummingbird peeks through? That's exactly what I wanted. I love it. So now we can take this off. That's exactly where I want my paper. Oh, yeah, I'm an artist. Oh, thank you, sweetie. Hey, Sarah, how you doing, sweetie? Well, I guess when I think artist, I think artists that can draw, painters and that kind. But you are correct here. I guess there's other artists in different medias. I will give you that. Okay, let me get this mist. and lay this down. Go like this. And then we'll pull this back and we'll finish decoupaging this. And I painted that stem, but I don't know if I would have had to. So I'm not going to decoupage this paper onto that stem yet because I want to see something. Oh, thank you, sweetie. Let me see here. I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm going to stop my paper. I wouldn't have had to paint that because I painted that one. See how I overthink. I am an overthinker. I really am. We're just going to go up that high because you're never going to see any of this anyway. Okay. So we are going to dry this real quick so that I can get it trimmed. Whoops. Oh, Miss Taya, if Miss Taya was here, Trent, I'd let her help me. She'd be a big helper. She's my buddy. Hey, Joyce, how you doing? Where are you from? Thanks for joining me tonight. I'm just going to get this dry enough to where I can get these edges off of here. This stuff dries pretty quick, this medium I'm using. That's pretty good. So now let's get it trimmed off. And if you're a first-time joiner, when you're trimming decoupage paper, let me give myself a little more room here. You go down one motion and it's down. And then this paper will let loose and you'll have a crisp edge that is perfect. And then inside that pumpkin where they're like where it curves here, I'll show you. Let me get this. I take an emery board and then I can get into those little grooves very easily without ruining, the curve of my piece. So we'll get this curve while I'm here. As you can see, it works beautifully. I'll just go around this edge like that. Then we'll get in here on this one. We'll just keep working our way around this pumpkin. And I got to kind of pay attention up here because I got some non-traditional curves, if you want to call it. And I think I'm going to cut this paper off right here so that I can see a little better what I'm doing. There we go. And now I'll flip this around like so. And we'll come over here and we're going to do the same thing to get this paper off. You can kind of see in the shape coming together, I hope. There we go. One more. Whoop, I'm out of frame. Sorry, guys. Back in there. This emery board works great for small areas and big ones, evidently, because I just continuing to use it here. Let me get this off right here. I will give this a cut. There we go. There's one little piece left. It doesn't want to come off. Hang on. There we go. Okay. So here is our basic stacked pumpkin, as you can see. It's going to be a stacked set of 3. We'll get this paper out of our way. And now I'm going to just put a coat of sealer on this real quick so that I can move on, and we're going to paint the fronts of those pumpkins that are going to be going on here. I cannot get in camera, you guys. There we go. This will be just a quick coat of sealer because we got those fronts coming on here, and this part is probably not going to be handled very much because it's going to be pretty protected, but this is just a way to make sure your paper is stuck down and not going anywhere. So there we go. Okay. So there is that much. Well, hi, Donna. How you doing? Thanks for joining me. Okay. So we are going to set this aside and let this dry while we paint. Whoops. Hang on there. I don't really want that to fall. We are going to be painting these that are going to go on top of the pumpkins. And I've kind of pre-chose my colors based on the paper. And so I'm going to paint this middle one sage, and I'm going to do the big one in this pigeon blue, and we're going to do the one on top in an orange that I had to mix up. And these colors paint here is all from Farmhouse. And the nice thing about that paint is it's an all-in-one, so I don't have to worry about sealing it. Once I'm done painting it, I'm done. I don't know why I got those brushes out, because I am not going to paint this with brushes. I am going to paint this with my sponges. A roller would work pretty good. Also, hang on here, guys. Hi, Rita. I did have a good birthday. It was kind of low key. It was exactly what I wanted. So yes, thank you for asking. So we're going to paint these quick with these little sponges because it's not going to take long. They'll probably each take a couple coats, so we'll just probably move right on down. I just put some paint in my little plate here. And we'll get the sponge in it. And I just dab with these sponges like this. The first coat takes the longest. And these were cut out. I have a laser that I can use. And so I cut these out on my laser because I thought they would be cute on the front of those pumpkins. Again, like I said, in my head, they look really cute. I am just hoping they look as cute in real life. Where did I get the pumpkin tower? Donna, the pumpkin tower, I actually drew out a template myself. And then I have a wood chop and tools. I should show you guys that sometime. So I went out there and I cut them out with my bandsaw. And then I wanted these pieces to go on front to decorate them up a little bit. So then I did a template and then I cut these out on my laser to go on top of the pumpkin. So this is kind of an idea I had in my head. Like I said, I'm hoping that they turn out. And so let me swap this so you can see. So this one is the center pumpkin, which I thought would be this green. Again, these are non-traditional pumpkins. If you watched me last week, I did that primitive pumpkin. I love non-traditional pumpkins. I love fall, though. I love the colors in fall. I just like to make non-traditional looking stuff. I want it to look, I want you to be able to tell it's a pumpkin, but it's not going to be, the big bright orange jack-o'-lantern. And I don't have nothing against them. They're just not my taste. So we'll set this aside. And then we got one more color, and it's going to be this orange. I mixed this up a while ago. I'm hoping I should have tried to get this open before this live, and I didn't. So bear with me. There we go. So this is my orange. As you can see, it's like it's a dark pumpkin orange because I didn't want a bright orange either, but I love this. Looks like a pumpkin pie orange, I guess. This is the orange that I like. So we'll get these painted as quick as we can. If you cut more laser piece pumpkins, I'd buy some from you. Oh, that's a thought, Donna. Would this size be okay? Wait till I get this put together, Donna, because this kind of goes together like a puzzle. But if you look on these, I actually cut them out with stems too, so they could be individual pumpkins. But I wanted this to go like a puzzle, so then I took it back to my bandsaw and I just sliced it off where I needed it to all fit together nice and cohesive. So I'm just going to go up there like that. Okay, we're going to go back real quick and give these other ones just a quick coat. And as you can see, because this was laser cut, I hope you can see it. You see where there's some brown? That's burn marks from my laser. That does not bother me because to me that makes it look a little more aged, and I'm going to age this up anyway. So leaving them on there, I mean, I won't try and cover all them up. I like that kind of grunge, dingy look. So, I will not be covering. A lot of people will prime these because they don't want that to bleed through. That does not bother me at all. So my favorite pumpkin is the one that I sponge painted in jewel tones. Yeah, see? Not traditional colors, Barbara, right? There's just something about those non-traditional colors that attract us. So I will probably call this one good. And then we'll second coat this green one. I put more than enough paint on my plates for these, but that's okay. I'll just give everything another quick coat. Okay, that looks pretty good. Purples, blues, emerald, ruby, and old gold. Oh my gosh. That sounds gorgeous. You should share a picture of that in Royce's, the upcycling group. And we'll give this orange a quick coat. And I'm going to grunge these up, hopefully just a little bit more once I get them on the pumpkin, on the stack of 3. There we go. So I think these are painted pretty good. Let me wipe off the lip of my jars, even though it doesn't seem to matter. As you can see, it was still hard to get the lid off. This jar, I think, the lip needs to be cleaned off of it. There we go. And we'll set these back out of the way. And now we're going to, can I set that there? We're going to reintroduce our stack of 3 and get these on there. But I do want to give them a dry so I can dry them a little bit so I can touch them without getting paint all over my hands. Yes. I know several people that do that, Donna, and I really should get into that habit. That or wax paper. It really does help. The funny thing is I tell my customers that. Again, do as I say, not as I do. I don't have a lot of jars. I usually have mine in those flip top bottles that you saw me use. I put a lot of my paint, I'll show you, in these. These are the honey condiment bottles, and I really like them because they have a flip top lid, but they seal really good. And so very little air gets in that jar so that when you go to use it, you don't have what I call paint boogers in there. So, okay, let's see how this is coming. Looks like it's still a little wet. So I'm going to give it a quick dry. from the sealer. So that it I don't rip my paper. Okay, so let me see if I can do this in camera so you guys can. But if you see how this will go here, push it up here. See, that will lay there like that. And then this one comes in like this. It's got to come down just a little bit. There we go. Just like that. And then you put the top on this one like that. And we'll glue these down. But you got to get them on there just right because that's how I cut them. There we go. So you see how, thank you, Donna. I think that looks kind of cool. So we'll get these glued down, and then I do have some embellishes over here, embellishments that I want to add. And yeah. And to glue these down, I am going to just use super glue. And we'll start at the bottom here again. And leave them in place. And flip this over. And I don't know if you can see me or not here. Let me get the lid off of here. Well, just a minute. I got to get another tube of super glue. That's kind of dried up. That's the only bad thing about when you open up a tube. I do try and use them as much as I can the first time around. So, okay. That's why I buy just these little tubes. So that way if they get dried up, I'm not wasting like a ton of them. So I'm just going to take this and I'll try and hold this. And I'm just going to dot glue. And I'll hit the big areas. And then I'm going to have to lay it down. And I'm going to put some on the small areas. Mainly the edges. Because that's the part that I really want to be adhered good. Because if it's going to catch, it's going to catch on those edges. So and then you got to pick this up, and I'm going to have to stand up, and I'm going to hold this one in place because I know that's where that goes. And by leaving that in place, I can butt this right up next to it, and then I know that I'm where I'm supposed to be. And if I hold this down just for a little bit, the super glue should take. That super glue's just got to start drying. I could have used my Tight Bond Quick and Thick too. Okay, then we're going to take this off, and we're going to do the same thing, just laying some small glue lines down like that. Yes, I think that makes the paper pop too. This is kind of the vision I had. So far, it's not turning out so bad how I imagined, so that's a good thing. I'm telling you, I got a lot of ideas in my head. They look really good. And then I go to plan them out, and not so much. So I talk to my sister every day, and I'm always telling her, it looks really good in my head. She's used to me saying that because that's usually what I say. And then we're going to get this lined up. Yep, that should be good. We'll hold that there for just a little bit again. So what do you think so far? Well, thank you, Donna. So we'll just hold that down a little bit. And now we'll do this last one. I did think that this, if this idea worked, this might be kind of a fun project that I could either do a class on or offer it as a kit. I mean, these pieces of paper, they were actually, you know, scraps that I had, or if you want to call them scraps, because they were pretty big for scraps, but you know what I mean. There was some leftover pieces, so which is why I never throw them away. Okay, let's get that lined up. And then we're going to hold that down. Oh, Melissa, you'd like a kit? All right, guys, let me see what I can come up with. I'm glad you guys like this. And I did the orange on the black just because I thought it was a nice contrast. And maybe there was a little part of me that thought I needed to have orange because it is supposed to be a pumpkin. I don't know. But I love that color orange, so. You just want the cut pieces. Donna, are you talking about just these top pieces, or are you talking about the stack of 3? Let me know. Thanks, Trinity. You have to let me know. We can work something out, I'm sure. So now I'm going to turn this around because I have some stuff that I want to stick in. I cut a little hole here. Let me get a paintbrush because I decoupaged over it. I just got to open it back up. There we go. And I've got these metal maple leaves. It was a garland, but I cut it down, and I thought they'd be really cute as an embellishment there. But I forgot to curl this one, so I'm going to take this tool again that I had last week, and I'm going to give this a curve. And if anybody found where this tool's at or one like that, let me know. I have several people that want this tool, and I've had it for, I don't know, many, many years. And I tried finding it after my live last week. I cannot find them anymore. So I don't know where you can get them. But I'm just going to put some hot glue in this hole. And then we are going to shove these down through there. It broke. Can you believe that? That's okay. Then you know what? We don't need that in there. Let's get that out of there. Because I'll just glue the leaf on. And then we're going to stick this like that. Hang on here. And then I think we can put the leaf down there just like that. What do you think? I do believe this is going to work anyway. So let's put some glue there. Hey, Sherry, how you doing? Howdy, howdy. So there's that so far. Tell me what you think. My little stack of 3 pumpkins. And see, let me see, I'll hold that up to you. I think that looks really cute on there. Well, thank you, Sandra. And now I want to, I'm going to have to turn this so part of it's going to be out of frame because, well, maybe, hang on here. Let me see if I can make this work for you guys. So now I want to add some stuff on these. These are just too plain for me. So again, I got my IOD stamps out, and it's that textured stamp where they have all kinds of different textures. I pulled out these 2. I'm not sure what they're called at all, but I am going to kind of randomly, sporadically stamp on these to dirty them up a little bit. So I got my plate over here, and I'm going to be using the IOD stone grain ink. Well, thank you, Lola. So I am going to just lay some down here on my plate. And I'm going to use my brayer. I like that best. And kind of roll this off. I know this looks black, but the black is really black. So just trust me. It is not, it's not as black as you think. And then I'm going to roll my stamp here. And as you can see, I cut my stamps off of the page, off of the page it comes on. I know a lot of people don't. I do. I like having this edge around them. It gives me something to hang on to. You don't have to. If you don't want to cut them, you can use those thin mounts. This is just the way I do it. And so now I'm going to take this stamp and we're going to use it over here first. And I'm going to let it hang off to the edge and we're going to lay it down. It doesn't matter where it hits. I just want these to be random. I don't care where it's at on this pumpkin. And lift it up. And then I'm going to turn this around because I inked the bottom of it. Again, it does not matter. I'm just trying not to let my stamp. Yeah, this is like a charcoal. And I don't have, IOD does not make a brown ink. I really want them to. I know I'm not the only one. I know Royce mixes it. I haven't had a good, I have not had good luck mixing. I think she mixes the tomato and the turmeric. I have not had good luck doing that. So I do have some Tim Holtz ink, but it's this paint, it takes forever to dry on because it's an all-in-one where the ink I got wants to soak in. So I'm going to slide this down here because we're going to use this stamp up here too. And then that middle pumpkin, we're going to stamp with something different. I want to lay this, there we go, just like that. And I'm not going to touch my green. And we're going to pick that up. And I'll turn it around. And I'm just going to touch it. And it just juices that up a little bit. I kind of like it. There's a little spot. I don't know if I can get it. Hang on here. Let me move you out of the way here. There. That little bit made me feel better. So there's that. And now we're going to put a different texture on this one, just for something different. Yes, they have, Donna, they have tomato and it's a red and a green. I can't get the right kind of brown mixing it. I have never had good luck. Probably if I practice more with it. It's, yeah. I didn't want to. I've tried it once. I'd really need to try it again. I gave up too easy probably. But anyway, so now we're just going to lay this here. Just put a little texture on my leaves like that. And I'm going to turn it around, kind of butt it. And then we'll lay these over here so they can, I got to remember to clean them. So there is that. And then I thought, what do you think? There's my textures on my pumpkins. Let me go back this way. I think it looks kind of cool. And then I also think at the top here, once this dries, I think I'm going to tie some raffia and let it hang down. I think that would be cute. It didn't turn out too bad for having it in my head. Thank you, Barbara. But yeah, Donna, message me, get a hold of me, let me know which part of the cutouts you wanted. We'll definitely work something out. If you have any other questions, let me know. I just think this didn't turn out too bad. I think it's kind of cute. And I can show you. Hang on here. Let me switch cameras. Let me switch cameras here real quick because I can show you something then. There. This pumpkin is made to be freestanding. See? It stands up by itself, which is kind of cute. What I did is I put a block of wood on the back to make it freestanding. So it stands up all by itself. And yeah. Thank you, Melissa. Thanks, Janetta. Thanks, Trinity. Thank you, everybody, for joining me tonight. I truly appreciate it. If you're watching on replay, I thank you. Go enjoy your night. I'll take a finished pictures of this once I get the raffia, once this ink is all dry and everything. And then I'll post it when it's finished, okay? Donna, you're just going to come over? Okay. So you guys have a great evening. Thanks again. See you later.